Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Timothy here with Mana Rocks, and we're doing another competitive Guilds of Ravnica draft. This will be part 2 of By Force series where we are going to spin a wheel and force whatever guild that wheel tells us to draft. We've done one of these so far. I've recorded a couple others, but accidentally lost the footage. The footage was corrupted, and there was a problem with recording, so even though they were fun, I'm going to add those back to the wheel, and we're going to spin it again. Also, apparently competitive draft has been changed to traditional draft on Arena, which I think means the same exact thing. Prize structure looks exactly the same. But here we are. So let's spin our wheel. You'll notice I put 5-color gates on there. 4 to 5 color. Put something a little shifty. Oh, come on, Demir. Come on, Demir. Selesnya. All right. Considered by a lot of people to be the worst guild, but we're forcing Selesnya. That means if I open and miss it, sorry. Now keep in mind, I reserve the right to splash. Like, I'll play Golgari cards in my Selesnya deck if they're good enough. But for the most part, we're going to prioritize Selesnya cards over others. Thankfully, we get to take Conclave Cavalier, which might have been my pick anyway. There's a Luminous Bonds here, which is great, but I'm going to snap up Cavalier. If we're playing Selesnya, that's what we want, right? Also, the bots are going to pick up on these signals. Quasi-duplicate is nice, but we're going to take Flower Flourish here. Looks like there's a little bit of lag. I haven't booted up Arena in a couple days. Flower Flourish is a card I just tend to like quite a bit. Lets you cheat on your land count, and I like whenever you have cards like that. Rosemane Centaur seems like a nice little pickup here. Sky Knight Legionnaire is great. I wouldn't mind Sworn Companions on the wheel. I really don't like Samala Woodshapers, but starting off with 3 good Selesnya cards is a nice sign. Here's where I would consider splashing because Command the Storm is pretty good, and none of these other cards are very good. I'm not going to take like Piston Fist here or Child of Night because we're not going to be moving into a different color. Even if we see crappy Selesnya cards, we're committed. Vigor Spore Worm is on color, but I think Vigor Spore Worm is quite poor, and I don't really like Pitiless Gorgon, so could take the Boros Guildgate or the Command the Storm in case we do need to end up splashing a removal spell or something like that. So Gateway Plaza stood out there, but I think I'm going to take Skyline Scout, just like having a 2-drop, and since we've got the Rosemane Centaur, I don't mind picking up some decent 2-drops, and Skyline Scout's one of the better ones. Hitchclaw Recluse and Wario Copy are pretty equal poor cards in my opinion. I'll play a Hitchclaw or a Copy if I have to. I think we're just going to take Boros Guildgate, though. Alright, Selesnya Guildgate, Generous Stray. Probably going to take the Stray here. Just critical massive creatures that can get us to turn 4 Rosemane Centaur, even turn 3 Rosemane Centaur is nice. And I don't think you have to prioritize Pack Beast. I wouldn't mind the Guildgate, but Stray is just fine. Alright, Siege Worm and Selesnya Guildgate, good sign. I think I'll take the Worm here and just not prioritize another big Convoke creature since Siege Worm's not great, but a card that you're happy enough playing. This is a good sign. I think I'm going to take Prey Upon. I have big creatures. I have 3 big creatures so far, and Prey Upon is better when you have these bigger guys. I do prefer the aggro Selesnya version to kind of the Convoke Selesnya version, but we're taking what we're seeing. Stray. Take another Stray over Pack's Favor. I think that was the pack we opened. Alright, Woodshaper came back. Currently 0 enchantments in the deck. Don't really love Urban Utopia, though, so I'll take Woodshaper and cut it. Hey, look, we got literally every single card we could have taken in the first place over Command the Storm, minus Boros Guildgate. So I guess here it's just Vigor Spore Worm. I really don't like Vigor Spore Worm. But at least we've sent the right signals. And we wheeled a bunch of Selesnya stuff. Alright, so moving into Pack 2. Forcing Selesnya is working out so far. We don't really have removal. We have Prey Upon, but we've got some good middle to top end creatures. We need to fill out the early game. I think that means Healer's Hawk over, say, Overgrown Tomb or a 2-drop. I like Recruit, I like Scout, I like the Guildgate, but Healer's Hawk is kind of perfect. Ooh, the Hatchery Spider or Rosemane Centaur? I've kind of liked Hatchery Spider. Rosemane Centaur might be better for our deck. And I'm kind of almost ignoring Undergrowth, but we are majority green. We've got a lot of green creatures. We're probably going to have a bunch of creatures die up to this point. It can replace Vigor Spore Worm pretty easily. Cards I'm really not excited to play here. I'll put in the sideboard right now. And this is kind of what I'm looking at as cards that I'm happy playing. I think I'm going to take Hatchery Spider, and there's a chance the Centaur actually wheels considering how open Selesnya was. Unfortunately, this pack doesn't really have anything. I don't really want another Siege Worm, but I think Grapple and Sundew is terrible. And Take Heart, I'd rather have Pack's Favor, but I might just take Heart here. Wheel the green cards anyway. Citywide Bust, huh? Peacemaker, Healer's Hawk, ooh, Flower Flourish, this is a great pack. Bust is a little bit awkward because we do have 4 creatures that die to it right now. I don't even really like Citywide Bust. Peacemaker's probably going to wheel. I think I just take the Hawk. I think I go in on the Hawks here, on the early game creatures, try to wheel the late game creatures. Ooh, okay, this pack's pretty good too. Swathcutter Giant even in consideration here, but we have Gird for Battle, which is a lot better when you have these aggro creatures. Currently only 3 creatures to play before turn 2, though, or before turn 3. I think I'm supposed to take Sworn Companions, since it powers out the Siege Worm, the Rosemane Centaur. I like Gird for Battle, but I don't think we're that aggro. I'll take Sworn Companions here. Follow up with, I guess, Scout. I don't like Sprout and Renewal, and Crushing Canopy. I would like to have one, but take the Critical Mass of 1 and 2 drops. Alright, Foragers is a pretty good card. I think underrated. Has continued to be underrated for the entirety of this format. 2 mana Vigilance. Pick up a Guildgate now. And here, ooh, we did not wheel the Rosemane Centaur. Guess I take Silent Dart, since I really just don't have removal, unfortunately. Yeah, the Sundew did come back. I'm hoping not to play that. Sundew's pretty poor. I don't know why people like that. We did wheel the Peacemaker, though, which I like. Even in the beatdown versions, I like Peacemaker. Ceratok's pretty replaceable, so I guess Hunted Witness, followed by... I'm going to take Crushing Canopy for the board. And another Urban Utopia. All right, hook me up. Ooh, there we go. That is a hookup. Amara, Soul of the Accord. Fantastic. Really good when you have Convoke cards, which we have, and really nothing else in this pack that we want. The pack would be really good for Dimir here, but we're going to take Amara and be happy with our lives. Followed by Luminous Bonds over Flight, Might of the Masses. Get one of those 2 back, I'll be happy. Even the Guildgate. Luminous Bonds, perfect, though. Sunhome Stalwart. I think this might just be the best 2-drop in the entire set. It's, I think, better than Boros Challenger. I would love Healer's Hawk, but I'm going to take Stalwart. Alright, so first pack where we're not just slamming something here. I think Prey Upon is right, though. We still have quite a few big creatures. I think I'm going to cut the red cards here, and we'll actually be straight up Selesnya. Cut the Crow Foragers, keep that in the board. Yeah, I'll take Prey Upon over just a mana fixer, especially since we're not going to be playing the red here. Hawk? Justice Strike is really good, though. Hawk? Caw-caw! That's the sound a hawk makes. Alright, not much for us here, but I don't mind having more Crushing Canopies in the sideboard. Wow, Indrik is coming really late here. This is pick 7. I wouldn't mind either of these green cards, but Indrik is perfect. Followed by either Beetle or Scout. I don't really want Color the Culprit. I don't need these Guild Gates. Probably going to get one of the Guild Gates back. There have been a lot of Selesnya Guild Gates. Currently have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 2-drops. 3 1-drops. I think that's pretty good, so I don't think I need a 2-drop, but I'm probably going to take the Beetle. Just going Hawk into Beetle is pretty good. And I think Beetle's probably a little bit better than the Vigilance guy. Here, I don't think Pack Beast is what I want, so we'll just start loading up on Guild Gates. Sure, I don't think I need a Locket. And Peacemaker. Alright, Restorer is good. I'm not going to start it, though. I'll actually take a Locket here. I think I have 2 Worms in the sideboard. Alright, so I think this worked out quite well. We actually even ended up with some removal spells towards the end there between the Indrik and the Luminous Bonds plus double Prey Upon. We only need to cut 1 card here and have a deck. Could see just cutting Siege Worm because I have 2 other really good creatures here. Or one of the Generous Strays. decent amount of early and late game. I could see taking Take Heart out. I don't really want the combat tricks, I don't think. Very, very creature heavy, though. Not that that's necessarily a bad thing. And a little light on removal, but I think it'll be fine. So pretty straightforward. 15, 16, 17. Yeah, it's going to be the deck with a little bit of sideboard action against flyers. I like it. Let's go ahead and jump into round one. All right, what's up, people? We are here with round one. I'm definitely going to keep the hand. Would I rather play Scout on turn 2 or Hawk on turn 1? They also changed the ranking system here, it looks like. Also, my opponent appears to be on fire. I guess a couple updates happened. There's something going up here. Interesting. Alright, so there are going to be some interesting things going on here. I think I'd just play Hawk on turn 1 instead of Guildgate on turn 2. Could always just draw an untapped land as well. Boy, it's going a little bit slower than normal, though. It needs to boot up and everything. Alright. So I can no longer click on my opponent. That's interesting. Ooh. So note the opponent did mulligan there. I might pause here in a second and see if I can turn some of these animations off. See if it'll run a little bit smoother if I do. Ooh, we're against Boros. Well, I like that I played a Hawk, although I missed out on my second land. Peacemaker's really good against Boros, though. Alright, they also have the recruit with the freshest faced. Ooh, hello. So I think I just want to play Peacemaker here. No reason to jam Generous Stray right away. Yeah, Peacemaker seems good here. Peacemaker always seems counteractive when you want to beat down. But the life gain matters against your opponent, and the 3/3 is really relevant. 3 mana 3/3 is just really good in this format. Let's see, are we able to turn some of this stuff off? Maybe not. See, we're dead. Alright. So coming in, that means definitely a trick. I highly doubt my opponent's bluffing there. I'm going to take it. I have a little bit of a life buffer. I have this Healer's Hawk going. If I can put my opponent on a trick here, I think that's actually pretty decent. And I have the Luminous Bonds in my hand. Hopefully I draw a land. I can go double creature here. I think I go Beetle on Hawk rather than play Generous Stray. I think my opponent's got a trick. I don't know if they'd use that to save their Peacemaker here. Yeah, let's go Beetle on Hawk. I guess this means they have priority. And I'm not gonna attack with Peacemaker here. What would they have to have that they attack with the Recruit but not the Witness? I guess they just want to block with the Witness. That makes sense, I suppose. So they're not just trading 3 for 3 while I've got life gain. Alright, let's just attack with the Hawk, see if it survives combat. Looks like it's going to get Righteous Blowed. Oh, Justice Strike. Okay, well I do gain 2 life. Maybe not. Alright, so the Justice Strike's fine. We've still got plenty of action here. If they attack this turn, I'm still just not going to block. What's going on here? So, okay, that makes a little bit more sense to me. Yeah, no blocks. This means they're probably going to play like a 3 or 4 drop here. I can Luminous Bonds and start attacking. Otherwise, why attack with this turn, but not the turn before? Alright, Blade Instructor I'm not really worried about. Could Luminous Bonds it. A little awkward, we can only do 1 thing per turn here. I think I'm supposed to play out 3 drops, but I also don't want this to get a counter, so I'll go ahead and suit this up with the Luminous Bonds. And jam for 4. Still putting my opponent on a trick of some sort here. Yeah, if I'm not blocking, I might as well attack. Would still love to draw a land here so I can double spell with the Skyline Scouts. Okay, so auto passing still works the same. No Barging Sergeant. Alright, opponent wants to keep up white mana. Could have a Righteous Blow. Not too worried about Tribunal either. I guess that takes away Peacemaker, but the fact that they're doing that on a Peacemaker isn't the worst thing in the world. Oh, they take the Luminous Bonds away. Yeah, that's actually kind of gross. Now they have I'm taking 6-7 this turn, which still isn't really the worst. If I can get Siege Worm down, then I'm fine. But I need to draw some lands to get to that point. Still kind of anticipating a Righteous Blow, even though that wouldn't be the worst. So here I can double spell, right? I can go Scout, Scout, and I think that's probably the best. And then I'm just going to play defense for a little while until I can get the worm down. We'll see if they attack with Blade Instructor here. I guess I can attack with Peacemaker. Nah. Still think our position's fine against our opponent. Unless they're on all cards like Conclave Tribunal or something like that. Good removal spells so far. Oh, they're going to suit something up, it looks like. Play an enchantment or something. Maniacal Rage, perhaps. I would be slamming that on the Recruit, though. Torch Courier. Alright, not a card I'm super worried about. Alright, so attack with everything. Definitely at least one trick here to worry about, right? But I'm going to trade some creatures off. The Peacemaker is going to go on something that I'm fine trading that plus Righteous Blow. Don't really want to give him the Lifelinker. So I think I'm going to go here, here, take 5. Yeah, let's do this. See what their trick is. It'll be the last card out of their hand, too. I assume it's Righteous Blow, considering they gave... it could be Take Heart. Or it could even be Integrity. Yeah, I guess there's a lot of things it could be. I assume it's a 1-mana white spell. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. That's not even that bad. I keep my Peacemaker. I take 5. They get to Mentor one more time, but I get to drop a Siege Worm this turn. They are out of cards. Alright, so that's actually relevant. If I play Generous Stray... Nope, can't do that. So we're going to go tap, tap, and then tap out here and drop us a worm. Now they have no good attacks, assuming they don't just rip something off the top, which my opponents tend to rip stuff off the top. I'm not going to attack this turn. That way, if they do, I get at least block here on the Blade Instructor. Alright, did you rip the sick top deck? You got it, Gith 842S. Alright, no attack is good. Ooh, that's also quite good. So I think I actually attack with Siege Worm here. And then just play Conclave Cavalier. Got to deal some amount of damage to him. I could also play Generous Stray and just attack with a Skyline Scout. How do I feel about that? If I attack with Peacemaker... Yeah, that's not terrible. Let's get this Generous Stray down, I think. No, it's just better to play Cavalier. So if that's the case, I'm not attacking with the Scouts. I'll go ahead and send in the Peacemaker. If they want to make any trades, that's fine. If not, they'll take some damage. When did they gain life back? Oh, Take Heart. Gotcha. Take Heart's pretty good. Alright, on to you, friend. Last card in hand does not seem like it's something super relevant, or at least the card they had last turn. Not a creature, or at least not a 5-drop creature or below. Probably not a removal spell. So possibly a pump spell. Or something like a Cosmotronic Wave. I think they would have cast Cosmotronic Wave, though. Gird for battle, it's pretty good. Not that great. Siege Worm still blocks Fresh-Faced Recruit just fine. Cavalier will happily jump in front of Blade Instructor. I'll take 3 off the Witness. They could double Mentor the Witness, make it a 4/4. They do not attack. I'm pretty sure I'm just jamming with Cavalier. Because if they want to trade for one of the 4-power creatures, I'll consider that a win. Let's go and play Generous Strafe first. See if we draw anything relevant here, like a Prey Upon. Nope. Alright, so what do my attacks look like? Probably Scout plus Cavalier, and that's it. Keep my Worm back on defense. And that's my turn. I guess I am dead to like a Cosmotronic Wave. Something like Intrusive Pack Beast doesn't do it, but Cosmotronic Wave does kill me. Alright, we got an attack this turn. Nope. Flat out's fine. I'm going to go and play lands, make the same attack, but with 2 scouts this turn. If I send Worm in there, this is a lethal attack. 4, 9, 10, 11. No. I want to keep myself a decent number of blockers. I guess this still blocks. Fly, my scouts, fly. Alright, opponent's down to 5. I'm pretty stable against him. Okay, we'll go to round 2. Question, do I want Crushing Canopy? Probably not when we've only seen 1 spell for him, right? I might want Take Heart. I definitely want like Restorer and Corral Foragers over some of the other late game creatures. Like I don't really want Worm or Hatchery Spider here, I don't think. These guys stabilize quite nicely. They come down a little bit earlier. My deck seems like it's pretty well set up against this opponent. I could see bringing in like Ladev Guardian or something like that. Sworn Companions loses a little bit of its luster here. No, I think that's fine. I think just bringing in the guys that gain me life and block is pretty good over the beaters like Siege Worm and whatnot. This Healer's Hawk put in work early on. Actually, we didn't gain that much life off Healer's Hawk. Like 2. Alright, so opponent's on the play. Yeah, this hand seems pretty good. Opponent mulligans as well. I'm going to go Hawk on turn 1. Stray on turn 3. And try to set up for Foragers. Opponent could aggro us out. Oh, the Hunted Witness. The worst Hawk. Okay, oh, there's the Peacemaker again as well. We draw a 2-drop like Amara or something, then we're really off to the races on this one. So I can still do all that. Just looking at the interface. No way. No way. Alright, no Sunhome Stalwart. Ooh, Vernati Shieldmate. That's a card we can beat, even if we skip our next turn, essentially. Prey Upon. That's not the card we wanted, but that'll be good later on. Alright. So hopefully no hasty 3-drop, Sky Knight Legionnaire or something like that. Even that wouldn't be the worst. Peacemaker's going to stabilize us here. We'll be at 21 next turn if they have no haste creature. And again, last game just kind of shows we don't care about our opponent's life total, especially against a Boros player. We're trying to win with our big creatures in the end, which over the course of a couple turns will offset the 3 or 4 life you gain here. 3 or 4 as if it's not exactly 4. Also, this card kind of sucks. So they didn't add anything especially harmful here. I think I attack. If they have Righteous Blow, they have it. And then we play Peacemaker, since it blocks all of their creatures, and it's a good Prey Upon target for next turn. Alright, 22. Opponent sitting on 3 cards. I like where this is going. Do gotta be careful with my Prey Upon. Probably only cast it if they tap out and my guy's still alive. But let's see what they do first. Let's see what Liliana does. What do you know? Liliana's a Boros player. Okay, no attack. I like that. Sworn Companions and Generous Stray are fine plays here if the opponent just didn't do anything on their turn. I don't mind just getting in the Hawk and trying to hit a land drop here when they didn't have good attacks last turn. Guildgate. Ooh, Plains. We can even go Hawk here. That was perfect. Thank you. So generous. Much Stray. Meow. That's the... Never mind. Never mind. Ooh, the Inspiring Unicorn. Well, we're going to prey upon that, I believe. Youch. Yep, let's go ahead and play Prey Upon and Sworn Companions. Just give them no out to use that Unicorn effectively. Not attacking with my guy either. Just, I'm content swinging for 2 in the air here and wait until I hit more land drops. I'm also fine just playing this out as a 4/4 if I don't have any creatures in my graveyard. Giving the opponent the ripe old thrashing here. Ordinary Goblin is pretty good. It attacks into all my creatures, but it does just trade for Generous Stray. It means I can't really attack my 1/1s into it. Gird for battle. That's fine. I will trade Peacemaker for this Vigilance creature. Really? Okay. So I'm fine with this. And then I can trade the 2 tokens for this thing. Actually, be fine with them killing Generous Stray because I have the Forager. Yeah, this seems fine. Basically trading Gird for battle for Sworn Companions, although I think they're going to kill the Stray and a token. So I'll be left with the token and the 2 birds to their 3 power, but I'm at a way higher life total. And now that they killed a bunch of my creatures, I actually gain 2 life and present a 4/4. So I can't attack with this token because of their Ornery Goblin, but the birds are still getting in there. And then any land gives us Indrik, and I think the game will be about wrapped up at that point. That's a lot of Hunted Witnesses there. Alright, you got Hunted Witnesses. Did I even play this Affectionate Indrik? I don't think so. Yeah, I'm fine just not playing the Indrik here and wait until they play like a Flyer or like a Mentor creature or something like that. Because they don't have good attacks against me. That's pretty good. Yeah, I will attack with the Foragers this turn. They can trade an Ornery Goblin plus a Hunted Witness for it if they want. Now I'll just play Rosemane Centaur and have another 4/4. Oh, they could also throw a bunch of creatures in front. They have to put the Goblin in front, though, if they want to kill my Foragers. Okay. I think I want the Goblin off board. So yeah, I'll trade for a Goblin and 2 Hunted Witnesses. I could also assign 3 damage and only kill 1 Witness. Oh, I guess I can kill my opponent's whole board, right? Yeah, okay, you get a bunch of Lifelinkers. Gonna slog through them anyway, but clean little 4/1. Guess this is like a half, so what is that? Oh, 1 to 2.4? I don't know, man. And shaboom, there's another 4/4 for you to deal with. This match has gone well. Okay, nothing from the opponent. I will attack my lifelinker into their guy. Play a hawk. Mostly so I can click attack all. Probably block my lifelinker. Yep. And take 4, 5, 6. Only really take 5. Still don't have lethal on him. It's kind of funny. That is a lot of hunted witnesses, though. Ooh, Cosmotronic Wave. That's actually kind of gross. They should attack with at least one. Yep, they're attacking with both. Wow, the Cosmotronic Wave. They did have it. Alright, let's go ahead and stomp. We have the Luminous Bond, so I don't mind just getting rid of one of these. Getting a roadblock off board, putting my opponent down to 7 this turn. And if they just like play out a land, we can Luminous Bonds for the win next turn. We're at 35. I don't think we lose this game, even if it takes a couple more turns. It'd have to be some sort of miraculous set of draws here. Actually, I guess if they drew like a 5-5. No, because we have the Luminous Bonds. Oh, what is happening here? Is this 2 wins? I don't know what that is, but we won match 1. I'll see y'all in match 2. All right, so match 2 with a really good hand, depending on what our opponent does. Actually be a good question whether we play Stalwart or Amara on turn 2. Probably Amara. No, this is not the same opponent. It's just another shiny Liliana. I wonder if them shining means something. Also, the symbols are different, so I'm guessing this is a replacement for that previous rank system, which really didn't make any sense. Ooh, Dimir. Well, we're probably running out of Mara against Dimir. It's just less likely they have a creature that trades off for it. As good as Stalwart is, the life gain probably won't matter as much this game, if they actually are Dimir. So putting the counter on the Healer's Hawk right away isn't going to matter, and making the extra body could. Like if they just play like a Burglar Rat or something. Thoughtbound Phantasm, kind of annoying. There's no single black. I am going to trade Amara here. Because they could easily get this up to a 3-drop on a following turn, or a 3/3 on a following turn, and I won't have this same attack. They could also just take it. I could have a pump spell here. I don't think I'm missing a single black Surveil card, am I? At instant speed? Be really nice if they take it. No, oh, they did take it. Interesting. All right, well, here comes Stalwart. Fortunately, no 3rd land yet, though. So they Surveil. Got to watch out for something like Whisper Agent. Yeah, our attack is going to be way different next turn if they just pass the turn without doing anything. Here's where drawing our pump spell would be nice. We have a Take Heart. Ooh, I like that quite a bit. That actually really makes me wonder what they had going on that they didn't just block. But we get to jam for 5 here. We get to suit up the Healer's Hawk. And we get to play another 2/2. So opponent at 13, even though we're not, like, they play a 3/3, we're in a little bit of trouble. But even this, if they play a single creature, we can jam for 6 and just lose, like, our Stalwart if that's what we want to do. If not, if we draw a 3rd land, we probably play the Stray. The Spider looking pretty bad in our hand. Mesmerus? Fine by that. Alright. No castable spells. Alright, let's see if they have a trick like a Dazzling Lights or something. No, putting the opponent down to 7. But not casting any more spells. Moment of truth time here. Something like, I guess Dowser of Shadows wouldn't be the worst because the Healer's Hawk or Wishcoin Crab. I've just got fingers crossed they don't have a flyer like Watcher in the Mist or something like that. Oh, okay, nice. The 2-lander got there. A little bit of a nut draw, but not the nut draw, right? So we're up against Dimir. Could be like an aggro Dimir. We saw the defender guy. We saw really only 2 cards. I kind of like things the way they are until I see a little bit more. I don't want pump spells. I don't really want more expensive creatures because they tend to have counter spells. I kind of want Crush and Canopy, but we didn't see a Capture Sphere or a Flyer yet. And even though it's very likely they have things like Dimir Spybug, I don't think we want to put the card in our deck yet. Alright, so we're on the draw this time. Another good hand, and it has 3 colors. We can cast every spell in our hand. Opponent does not mulligan. Don't even know why I play this game. Go Guildgate and pass. So almost certainly playing Stalwart on turn 2. Oh, Thought Erasure. Well, almost certainly playing Beetle on turn 2. I don't mind the Thought Erasure here. I don't hate it. It's interesting what they... Yeah, they definitely take the Stalwart. Well, Beetle is a lot worse now. But we're still going to play it. Has to target itself, and we'll ship it. Alright, this hand way less busted. No Healer Talk. Did they kept their Surveil card on top for what it's worth. Probably running out Peacemaker next turn. They could have Whisper Agent here, but I don't particularly care if it trades for the Beetle. Yeah, Amara's great, but I do want to use my mana as best as possible, so I'm probably going to play Peacemaker, I think. Just a slightly better beater. Oh, please trade a Whisper Agent for my Beetle. No! Opponent didn't do it. Gonna hold off on this Plains for a little while, too, because my opponent knows about these 2 cards. They don't know about the other Plains. Yep, there's the Whisper Agent. Opponent's probably happy I'm casting. This is the type of matchup where Peacemaker's actually a little bit worse, because they tend to have creatures that can block it, plus I'm just gaining them 4 life, so that could be gaining them basically a whole nother turn. Looks like they surveilled a swamp to the graveyard there with the Whisper Agent. If they attack, I will not... Well, if they attack, that probably means they're playing something that blocks. So I might just take that trade. Probably not, though. Yeah, if they attack right now, I'm not blocking. I gained enough life that worst comes to worst, they play a blocker, I can't attack them back. I'm at 21 instead of 24. I guess my removal is probably not that great against this opponent, but we don't know how many big late game creatures they actually have. Yeah, no blocks. Next turn, I'll probably just keep the Beetle back, even if I can attack with a Peacemaker, just so that I'm not exchanging 2 damage for 3 damage. Maybe. We'll see what they play here. Feels like a Wishcoin Crab or something. Oh, another Thought Erasure. Alright, they probably take Amara, which I'd be happy with them actually taking that over the Stray, I think. Either one, I'm going to play the other, right? And that'll be fine. Alright, they do take Amara, which means they might not have a big blocker in their hand, especially since they're casting Thought Erasure this turn. They put Mesmerist in the graveyard. Ooh, Barrier of Bones. Okay, well, no point attacking with the Beetle. I don't mind keeping the creature that draws into another card, though. Did keep on top. Ooh, Spider's also a good late-game card here, although I have the sneaking suspicion I'm going to be discarding it by the time I get to play it. Already 2 creatures in the graveyard for it, though. Alright, we're going to go Stray here in case we draw a Guildgate and then play the Forest. Or the Guildgate. Alright, Luminous Bonds is something. We'll pass. Opponent's already down to 3 cards. 2 cards. Luminous Bonds slap on any big creature here. Looks like my opponent's... I'm willing to bet they have disinformation campaigns. I mean, you really only play Barrier of Bones if you really need that Surveil, right? And Barrier of Bones does get a lot better when Surveil 1 becomes like draw a card, your opponent discards a card, right? Alright, so here, I think I just attack with Peacemaker. And I might as well attack with the... Nah, we'll attack with Peacemaker. Probably trade Whisper Agent for... If they use a trick, they use a trick. That's not the worst. And then we'll just play a land and pass. They take it? What in the world? Alright, no draw spell is what I want to see here. No draw spell. No Chemister's Insight. I'd be fine with a Radical Idea. Artful Takedown. Post-combat Artful Takedown. Okay. That is not the worst thing that could have happened to me. I don't have great attacks anymore, but they're not putting any pressure on us, right? I mean, they get to attack us for 3. I don't get to attack them back. But we're working up to a 5/7. Their Surveil just put lands in the graveyard. The Artful Takedown post-combat seems weird. Maybe they just wanted to hopefully kill something bigger. Yeah, Luminous Bonds gets us in 1 point of damage here, and I have to use it on, like, a Demure Informant. So I'm happy enough playing Skyline Scout, passing, and having my Beetle up against Whisper Agent. Then now most of our draws are good. Lands let us play the Spider, which we have 3 creatures in the graveyard for. We've got a pretty high density of creatures, although this can only hit green things, right? Yeah, so if it hits like a Healer's Hawk or something, then that's a no-go. Got a couple creatures it can hit, actually. Not a lot. If it hits like a Generous Strike, that would be the bee's knees. Deadweight on the Beetle. Okay. This has been an exchange of small resources. Probably just take another 3 if they attack with the Whisper Agent. Sure. Not sure what this attack was all about. Maybe they Mephitic Vapors here. Ouch. Yeah, I kind of ran into that one, didn't I? Thought about it after they did it. If I had thought about that, I would have Skyline Scouted. Two more lands to the graveyard. So opponent's going to be on all gas here soon. Great time to draw a land. Oh, Prey Upon. Alright, well, for the sake of not getting killed here, we're going to go ahead and Luminous Bonds that thing and just pass. We take the hit. They pass the turn. Indrik is an awesome draw if they didn't just top deck Counterspell. This is going to go ahead and fight Demure Informant. Yeah, that's what you get for informing them. Tell them the Indrik sent. Nice. And now we have something for Prey Upon. Stop looking at my graveyard. 6 creatures in the graveyard. The Spider better hit something when we cast it. I'll take a 2-drop. I will. Can't stop me. I wish I had played around the Vapors. It made a little bit more sense after they did it. Opponent's deck is... We have not seen a big finisher or anything. This is a lot of cards to get through and not see great creature. Granted, they have like Artful Takedown, Deadweight, so they're pretty well set up against us. Concoct. Surveil 3 and then reanimate a creature. The best they can get back is Mesmerist or Demure Informant. So they're just going to Surveil a million. Of course, they could Surveil into something here. Doom Whisperer. Okay, I see you there. Prey Upon not going to be enough for that. Granted, Hatchery Spider does block it. Wow, Doom Whisperer. They had to draw this and also hit Doom Whisperer for that to work. Unfortunately, I can attack and then play this and Prey Upon to 3 for 1 myself. Ugh, that's so bad, right? I think I'm going to do it. This is a 3-turn clock. They could also just not block this Indrik here. Wow, that was pretty good for them. Yeah, this is okay. Alright, we'll pass. I don't like where this is going. They did not Surveil on end step, though. Wow, Doom Whisperer. Oh, Crushing Canopy. Probably bringing at least one Crushing Canopy in. Ooh, and they have a Dowser. And they're out of cards. So, Spider is live. 7 toughness reach. Alright, let's go for it. I assume they're going to start surveilling with this Doom Whisperer. But as of right now, my Spider does block. They also have a lot of life. Complete brick, but I'm glad we're not drawing those 6 cards, because none of them are particularly good here. Alright. Pass it back. Yep. They can actually just, like, basically turbo surveil into an answer for the Spider. So Swamp, and they wanted to draw whatever card this was. And it looks like it targets my Spider. Severed Strands, sacking the creature with the enchantment on it, killing the Spider, gaining life. Yeah, this game is close to over. All from 1 card. Yeah, we can go ahead and call it here. I mean, we're actually dead to their creature. Doom Whisperer, huh? I can't say I was expecting that. Guess it's probably worth bringing in 1 Crushing Canopy. And then things like Vigor Spore Worm get a little bit better here. I can't imagine my opponent's playing a lot of counter spells. Some really early game creature probably loses its value. Ooh, I forgot we had Flower Flourish. We should not be playing 17 lands, I don't think, with Flower Flourish and a bunch of 1-drops. Sworn Companions is probably pretty bad. Yeah. Alright. Well, let's hope we don't lose to that. That was kind of a mess. For them to draw, concoct, and then also have presumably their best creature in the top 3 there, that turn went kind of perfectly for them. Granted, if they had just drawn Doom Whisperer instead of concoct, it would have been about the same, so it was a kind of a gross turn, and enough by itself to swing the game. The fact that I had gained them a bunch of life for them to use means they can just draw until, or surveil however much they want until they hit a spell. Yeah, this hand's good. It gets the Stalwart down before they have a chance to, whatchamacallit? What's the word I'm looking for? Oh, Thought Erasure us. I don't think I Flower on turn 1. I think I just play Guildgate. And then Stalwart on turn 2. And then on turn 3, if we have nothing else to do, probably won't even play Flower Flourish. Seems like it could push in a win here. Opponent going down to 6. Outside of Doom Whisperer, there's not a lot that scares me here. Dowser of Lights is good, and there are about 15 cards we didn't see. But things like Barrier of Bones, Vidalcan Mesmerist, those are cards we can beat. We have a decent hand. Granted, they have Deadweight, Severed Strands. They have removal spells, right? Artful Takedown. Stupid Spider keeps hitting our hand. Alright. See if we can get a clock on them here. Yeah, that card's decent. And they have the Deadweight. Okay. Well, we are already behind here. Yeah, we are really far behind now, Jesus. Alright, we're going to go ahead and Flower for a land just because I have a lot of top end here. I need to be able to cast it. So we're going to have to pass this turn. Not getting in any early damage here. I'm probably playing a Generous Stray. Opponent did not have a 3rd land, though. I shouldn't have played. I think I only have the 2 Guild Gates, so that's fine. Alright, Crushing Canopy is a nice answer to have once Doom Whisperer comes down. It could also have cards like Capture Sphere. I don't have an attack this turn. Guess I gotta watch out for Disdainful Stroke, but I can Worm next turn. I can play either Worm. I think I just play Siege Worm. If they have Disdainful Stroke, so be it. They do not. Could have a bounce spell. Nope. Barrier of Bones. Alright. That is going to grow this to a 3/3. I have been fortunate enough, though, that my opponents missed a bunch of land drops. Whisper and Snitch. Okay, so I can go Beetle plus Centaur this turn. I can Beetle up Siege Worm. Vigor Spore Worm actually has a lot of late game utility here. All right, get in there. See if they want to block or just take the 6. Okay, I got it. Yeah, I guess you do have to choose with Convoke, right? That'd be kind of messed up if the auto tapper just assumed you wanted to tap creatures or lands. This is another good attacker for what they have on board right now. Might see like, oh, Thought Erasure. Okay, I assume they take Vigor Spore Worm, not Hatchery Spider. I'd actually be stoked if they took Hatchery Spider here because it makes my Vigor Spore Worm better. Wow, they did take Hatchery Spider. Okay, they know about the Crushing Canopy. But this just trades for Rosemane Centaur now. Is this +X+X? It is. I have just the... Oh, I have 2 creatures in the graveyard. I think I attack with everything. If they want to block one of these X ones instead of Rosemane Centaur with the Thoughtbound Phantasm, then that's fine by me. I could also just put the +X on the Rosemane Centaur. No, that's fine. We'll put it on the Rosemane Centaur this turn. We'll attack with everything next turn. I don't see getting 1 extra point in this turn mattering too much. And this should just about do. A little unfortunate the opponent got mana screwed, but I can't imagine what they'd have on 3 lands. So we get to take match 2 with our Forced Selesnya deck. And something's gonna happen here. No? Oh, we ranked up. Rank 3. Okay, cool, I guess. See y'all in match 3. Alright, match 3. I'm on the draw here, and I don't think I keep this hand. It's great if I draw another land, right? But that's asking a little bit. I do have 16 more lands. We don't even know if turn 1 Healer's Hawk is good here, so I think I just mull. This is pretty good. This would be a great hand to have on the play. Man, that Spider just wants to be in my hand, doesn't it? Go Hawk into Amara. It's pretty nice. Uh-oh. That's a thing, I suppose. I think being on the draw, if they give me the opportunity, I'm supposed to trade Hawks here. Yeah, nice. It's nice. I'll give you the nice back since I'm copying you. Green source, not red source. Okay, Selesnya matchup, huh? Iron Shell Beetle would be annoying. They did not attack. So the question now is, do I attack into them? I don't think so. I think I just play Amara and pass. Nah. Our hand's kind of sucks against bigger creatures, like if they play Peacemaker here or something like that. Basically anything that blocks. If they play something that just trades with Amara, they're going to play a 4/3. Okay, well, that's something. Knight of Autumn's a nice card. If I draw Luminous Bonds, I'm going to smash. Yeah, this makes sense to me. Watch me draw Rosemane Centaur. Guildgate. 2-drop. Pass the turn. Drawing some Convoke creatures would be fine here. Or anything that can trade off for Knight of Autumn, which we have a decent amount of creatures. But we've got a lot of bad draws. Looks like we might see a Prey Upon or something like that. Okay, Rosemane Centaur is great because it makes the 1/1 here. Yep, white, green, and the rest. Pretty good draw, I think. I think Luminous Bonds might have been our best draw, but Kind of interesting our opponent didn't play anything. This is also something that can attack into Knight of Autumn. And I wouldn't mind that trade, really. Ooh, did not see Circuitous Route coming. Just for basics, sure. Might be seeing a big boy. This is the type of matchup where my late game stuff matters quite a bit. If I draw Prey Upon, I might just go for the Prey Upon and attack. They have something for 1 white. Maybe? Real question is, do I just swing out here? They eat a 2/2, I make a 1/1, right? 4, 5, 6, 7. Probably going to play this Peacemaker, which is kind of annoying. Or do I just make an opening for Amara next turn? Granted, they're probably going to play something else. 4, 5, 6, 7. I think I just attack with Rosemane Centaur. See if they want to block. They could have a pump spell here, which I'm kind of sniffing out. Just because they didn't auto-pass their turn after playing the Plains. No, okay, so we just trade, and that means my opponent's pretty likely to have something that blocks Amara next turn, especially since they're untapping with potentially 8 mana. And we're both at 25, so now's a good time to draw my removal spells, or my Generous Strays, or my big late game creatures, my Siege Worms and whatnot. Really. Good game? Is that good game as in you have nothing? Or good game... Oh, they could have... You know what they could have here is the make a bunch of knights at instant speed. I'm not going to attack with the 1/1 for that reason. A Shore Assemble. Okay, it does not look like they have that. So my opponent's giving me the good game because they didn't have anything in hand. What could they have if they're on 8 mana and no spells? They have like Prey Upons and stuff. They probably have ways to modify this Healer's Hawk or grow it. I can't think of anything else. Alright, well they did not Ashore Assemble last turn. I don't really have a reason to believe they have it this turn, since it's very likely they drew a Healer's Hawk. Well, they have something. Might of the Masses Healer's Hawk to make it a 2/2 and trade with Amara. That's kind of gross. I'm going to play out lands here because my opponent's not playing discard, and I want to be able to like play a Generous Stray into something else. Demotion. All right, Vernati Shieldmaid can't block. This is not going well for the opponent, thankfully, because our hand wasn't particularly good. I've seen enough to bring in a Crushing Canopy, though, against double Hero's Hawk. Also, my enchantments are a little bit worse. Demotion as well. Yeah, my enchantments are a little bit worse because of Knight of Autumn, but I think I only have the Luminous Bonds, right? Do a quick peek. Yeah, I only have Luminous Bonds as an enchantment. Alright, so I'm going to bring in Hitchclaw Recluse and Crushing Canopy. And I do tend to like the pump spells a little bit more here. I still like all of my top-end creatures, especially in this sort of matchup. What do I cut? I could see cutting the Flower Flourish or the Sworn Companions. Maybe I just don't need the Hitchclaw Recluse. I have a bunch of Healer's Hawks of my own. Okay. I do need to bring out one card, though, for the Crushing Canopy. What would you guys take out here? I could see just taking out a land, but I don't want to be too screwed with the Flower Flourish. Spiders, probably fine. Siege Worm seems good. All of these creatures seem good. I guess I could take a Peacemaker out. Does trade for whatchamacallit. Alright, Sworn Companion's coming out. Companion's not an exceptional card. I do have 2 Convoke creatures, so it's decent there. Alright, so interesting. My opponent put me on the play, but I don't have any Hawks to punish them. I have Peacemaker, and I like the Canopy against their faster starts with the whatchamacallit plus Prey Upon here. So, kind of happy my opponent put me on the play with this hand, and their Mullen. Cyanide here, we're playing against a chemical. Alright, let's go Guildgate Pass. I think this hand's fine. It's going to come down really to how good Crushing Canopy is here. But it ought to be good, especially if they go like Beetle into Hawk or something like that. Oh, we're going to go Beetle into nothing, but I don't mind playing a 2-2 here. And I will target my Beetle, not your Hawk. They are going to be at 1,000,000 life by the time we stabilize against these creatures, but this is fine by me. Oh, the Hasda Marshal. Man, they are very aggro. Alright, so I could Prey Upon. Kind of want to use Canopy on this, but I kind of want them to put something on it. Let's jam with this thing and play Peacemaker. Let's make peace with the world today. Affectionate Indrik should be awesome if we get to the mana to cast it. Oh my god! They're hawking it up. Okay, don't really want them spitting out things. Oh, I only have 1 green mana. That's kind of awkward. It's fine, though. So we are going to Jammerino. And then I'm going to Crushing Canopy a Hawk on their turn. Yeah, I'll just wait till their turn to do it. I don't want to go for the Prey Upon here. They have Might of the Masses in their deck. I guess they... I don't remember they had green mana up or not. Alright, let's go and do this before attack so they can't get a token off of Hasda Marshal. Alright, life totals are 20 to 20, but I have more power on board, which I like. And as long as I don't play a 3rd creature out, I don't see the need to really rush on using the Prey Upon. I just don't want them spitting out tokens with Hasda Marshal. So play out our lands, play Skyline Scout, and pass. It's even possible I want to trade the Scout for the Marshal. I don't want to. No, I'm not doing that. There's no way. Alright, this turn they might play something big, though. But at least the Scout can probably still attack. And if we draw a land, we can Affectionate Indrik and just take down, like, Healer's Hawk here. Or we could take down Marshal. And that lets us attack with Skyline Scout. Yeah, let's go ahead and do this here. If they use a pump spell, I can choose not to fight, since it's Pawn Resolution. And then we jam for 7. Youch. Opponent down to 9. We have lethal on board now. They did nothing that last turn. They've played 3 1-drops, and that has been their game. Ah, the Peacemaker. No longer dead on board. But the real question, do you attack with the Hawk? You do! This guy is crazy. Could be a girl. Cyanide. Pretty gender neutral. Alright, we're going to attack with everything that's not this Beetle. We're going to go ahead and jump the Skyline Scout. And I'll just ship from there. Again, I'll play out my lands here. I don't see any reason my opponent should be splashing discard spells. You cannot block this Scout. Take the damage, they say. Okay. Down to 5. They could still have something like March of the Multitudes and just wreck us with that. I don't think Parhelion Patrol is going to do it. The Prey Upon could get us in trouble, though. Especially if they have, like, Might of the Masses or something. Don't really want to play into that. So I think I'm just going to attack with these 2. If they have Might of the Masses, they probably block with Healer's Hawk. No, they're fine going down to 1, so I don't think they have any tricks here. I'm just going to pass. They can put a counter on Healer's Hawk, but that requires tapping it or attacking with it. Put them up to 3. I don't think that helps them that much. I mean, maybe it does. But let's see. They're at 1. Epic moment against Cyanide. And they pass. Okay, well, that's good because we're not drawing anything. I really only have an attack with the Indrik, though. I guess if I attack with everything, that is lethal, but I assume they have something with 3 cards in hand. Maybe one ought not to assume these things. Ooh, we're going to see a double block. Okay, so trade in that plus that. Alright, fine by me. I think I play my land and pass. I guess I don't have to play the last land, actually, because if I draw Generous Stray, I'll have a land drop to make. Well, what could go wrong here? Not much. Guess playing a big creature would be annoying. Also kind of glad I didn't go for the win, because they would have Righteous Blowed one of these, probably. No, I guess if I had gone for it, they Righteous Blow a creature, and then they have to chump. Camaraderie. Draw a card, gain a life. Can't even attack. This does leave them not dead, though, right? Because they block, they gain 1 but take 2. Oh, they're attacking. What does that mean? They got a 1-drop. 1-drop green creature? No. No. Here. Now both my creatures are lethal. Yeah, I'll let it fly. Alright. Well, it's a bizarre set of games, but that puts us at 3-0. A couple more matches to go. See you there. Alright, this brings us to match 4 of By Force. Force and Selesnya, which has been working out. I will say we haven't played against the most competitive decks. This stupid spider has been in my opening hand. I'm on the play with a Healer's Hawk, so probably going to keep that. Against the Darling Duke, also Sarkin. Copycat. They're small Sarkin, I'm big Sarkin. Wow, Mold of 5. Okay. Mold of 5, I will accept. I've got a pretty decent hand. Turn 4, Rosemane Centaur, plus the Healer's Hawk to chip in for now. Look, I like the Hatchery Spider, but I don't want it in my opening hand, right? You want to draw this on turn 7, the same way my opponent drew that Concoct. Wow, the Skyline Scout was fantastic. I can turn 3 Rosemane Centaur now. Yeah, we're going to turn 3 Rosemane Centaur, barring anything ridiculous happening here. Let's see, Golgari or Selesnya? Another Selesnya matchup. I think we're pretty well suited against Selesnya decks because we do have big late game creatures. We're not attacking this turn, but we're going to go and play our Centaur. Boom. That's why Centaur's a good card. Turn 3. That's why people, the pros, think this card is good. It's one of the reasons to be in Selesnya. This is one of the reasons Convoke is worse in this format. Alright, we have some options here. I do think it's probably right to just jam everything in. Let them trade off. I could Prey Upon here. Actually, let's play Generous Stray first. If we draw like another relevant creature, we might just trade Prey Upon and Scout here for that Pitiless Gorgon. We did not. I kind of like my Centaur. I'm going to go here. It 2-for-1s me, but I keep my 4-4. They still kind of have to deal with that, and I get in 5 damage this turn. Scout has long-term value, so that could be, you know, something that comes back and bites us, but I think it's fine. It's not very likely they play another creature that can block this unless they play out another Death Toucher, and Selesnya decks don't often have a bunch of these things. Okay, Luminous Bonds is fine. I mean, I'd rather they didn't have a Luminous Bonds, but at least I get to attack with my other creatures here. Crushing Canopy, also consideration anytime my opponent plays an enchantment. Ah, they played a Rosemane Centaur of their own. So the tables are turning, but thankfully Spider should be pretty stabilizing, and the Beetle's not a bad draw. Lets me keep up pressure with this Healer's Hawk. Get in there, Hawk. Yeah, we need to play our lands out, and Spider. Spider's not going to hit a permanent, but 5/7 is a big body. Blade Instructor. Alright, that's actually pretty bad right now. I'm glad that's one of my opponent's creatures and Vernati Shieldmate. Okay, so Hawk's going to keep chipping in here. No blocks. As it stands, I will win this race with the Hawk. Alright, and we're going to Spider here. Spider can even attack into them. Oh, that's going to the bottom. Gross. Only one creature in our graveyard. Of course, we hit a green creature too, right? Something that the Spider can actually put on board. Alright, as it stands, we are doing pretty good. Ooh, Woodshaper is not bad. That could hit, well, a creature or enchantment, right? They hit Generous Stray, which they can't play this turn. Doesn't change much, and they can't attack. Alright, Hawk getting in there. So, as it stands, if they want to clear this, they would either have to double block with this, or triple block with these, or block with Centaur plus... I guess now they could go Centaur plus Stray plus Shieldmate. 4, 5, 6, 7, and then I'd only be able to kill 2 creatures. So I don't want to attack with the Spider here. I don't even really want to play Peacemaker. They're on a 3-turn clock. They have no pressure on me. They can't attack. So as long as I'm ahead here, I'm not going to play this Peacemaker. All it takes is for them to find like a decent-sized flyer. They've got 2 turns to do it. Righteous Blow, removal spell, and then we're kind of just staring at each other, Spider holding them back. Prey Upon's a nice draw. Again, I'm not going to show them this while I've got this clock. Since this is lethal next turn, there's no point putting these on board. Make them have an answer. Keep some more information concealed. Alright, Healer's Hawk went all the way that game. Rosemane Centaur got 1 hit in. Turns out it actually probably would have been better to have the Skyline Scout. Okay, so they played a single enchantment and no flyers against us. Sworn Companion seemed okay. They had Woodshaper, they had Blade Instructor. Hitchclaw Recluse also seems okay here. I think my deck's, again, just pretty well set up. I could see taking out Peacemaker for, like, Hitchclaw Recluse. Because a Hitchclaw Recluse does block a decent number of their creatures, and the Centaur Peacemaker does not block or attack through the Rosemane Centaur, which is one of the cards I care about my opponent having the most. Maybe that's wrong, but I think taking the Peacemaker out is fine. My opponent mulled to 5 that game too, which is notable. I like this hand. This is, if we draw a land, another turn 3 Rosemane Centaur. Opponent keeps this time. We actually have to play 7 against 7. Plains off the top would be awesome. No. Ah! This thing. Alright. Well, again, Plains off the top would be great here, so I can go Hawk, because I kind of want to play the Beetle and put a counter on the Hawk. I don't really want to play the Beetle as just a 2/2. Perfect. That's actually quite good. We're going to go Hawk. They're going to go Hitchclaw Recluse, and we're going to cry. And, barring anything else, I might just play Rosemane Centaur next turn. Put him in the same situation. Play a Death Toucher or something. Yeah, let's just play Rosemane Centaur here. Well, I mean, Spider was good last game. It didn't look like it because it just sat there, but it walled off every single one of my opponent's creatures. So if that's the bar you have to clear for being a good creature, then I think that's fine. All right, Parhelion Patrol would be nice if I didn't have this Prey Upon. So we are going to zap this thing. And then we're going to Beetle up a Hawk, and we are going to attack for 7 this turn. beetle up a hawk. There, I guess, is some merit to putting the counter on the Rosemane Centaur, since if they play a Centaur of their own, it can attack through it, but I'm fine with that trade. And also, they have to have the Rosemane Centaur, and also that's worse if they play like a Death Toucher or a Luminous Bonds, and they're already going to want to put Luminous Bonds on Rosemane Centaur. So here, I'm probably going to attack with everything, including the beetle. I assume they're going to be incentivized to block this Rosemane Centaur or take 4 extra damage, and if not, the beetle gets through for a point of damage. Since they already want to make this block, I just get a free point of damage in here. And I think a lot of people probably wouldn't make that attack with the beetle. In fact, if I was on the other side, I'd even have to stop for a second and think about blocking the beetle just because it is a free block. But then you're taking 3 more damage than you would have otherwise. Alright, this isn't going to combat a bunch of hawks. And the spider's going to come down in due time. Plus, beetle can attack into Skyline Scout, which I like. Ooh, Amara. Alright, so we're going to play land Amara, jam with everything here. These hawks have been putting in work in every single game. We're going to see a block on the beetle. And a pump spell, it looks like, to keep their scout alive. Fine by me. Beetle's done its work. Beetle lives on in the heart of this 1/1 counter that's on this Healer's Hawk that is currently wrecking my opponent. Yeah. I love when my opponent has to play Pax Favor on defense. Just means you're not taking that damage. Now we go Amara, land, pass. And if Amara can trade off with a creature, I'm very happy just attacking it, trading off a creature, and leaving behind a 1/1. Ooh, and the Hawks got there. Sick. So that means we have either 1 match left to go if we win, or we still have our 2 losses. So potentially 2 more matches here. If we win, we're done, and if we lose 2, we're done. So I will see you in match 5. Bronze Tier 2. By Force, round 5. Selesnya edition. We are on the draw. Opponent appears to have kept, might have mulliganed there. This hand's good if we draw another land, which means I might want to flower here. Especially since I have Siege Worm, I don't want to miss land drops. Yeah, I'll keep. Opponent did mulligan. Langhauser. I don't know. Down to 5 again. We've played against... Has every one of our opponents mulligan today? I think so. Well, drawing the 4th land, I don't want to flower as much. Yeah, I'm not gonna flower here. All right, against Dimir, against Mulligan Dimir, no 2-drops or 1-drops to pressure him. Slamming the land drops into the Dimir Informant. Thankfully, the Surveil cards can dig you out of a pretty nasty spot here. Also, I don't have a 3-drop to play. So, currently not pressuring the opponent. Another Mesmerist as well. Alright, Scout is fine. Something to put on board is actually quite nice here. Even if it's not the most impressive play, it's fine. It gets us a turn closer to Siege Worm, which tends to be really good against these decks if they don't counter it right away. The 5 toughness, being able to survive Artful Takedown is quite nice, and being able to attack through cards like Dimir Informant and Dowser of Lights is really nice as well. Even Watcher in the Mist. Ooh, Plague Crafter? I don't mind this. They're going to lose a Dimir Informant to a 2/1, which is fine by me since I didn't really want to pay mana for that anyway. Indrik is also quite good. This hand is shaping up very nicely against an opponent who mulled to 4. Conclave Cavalier is usually a pain in the butt for these decks too, because if they kill it with Deadly Visit or anything like that, then... Oh, Unexplained Disappearance? Oh yeah, we doing it now. Opponent is on the tempo plan. Forest to the graveyard. Taking 3, but we're just going to replay this Conclave Cavalier. Call it a day. We'll just concede after that. And we get to play the Hawk. Hello. Wow, they did that on my turn too. Like, directly after playing it. They did it on their own turn? They didn't even wait to see if it blew me out. Alright, Dowser is not bad here. We do have a Luminous Bonds, though. Sworn Companion. So I think I just play Siege Worm this turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then next turn I'll worry about like Luminous Bonds and stuff. I can also flower for a land and then play Siege Worm. No, I'll just tap my dudes. Oh, actually. Well, nah, that's dumb. I was going to say, I could attack with Conclave Cavalier, they kill it, and then I get another body on board, but I don't think that really accomplishes anything. I'd rather just get this worm down. Okay, they kill it. That's fine. We're just back to where we were last turn. My opponent surveilled. They're down a removal spell, and I'm down a threat. This is fine. Probably going to go Luminous Bonds this thing now. The Creep and Chill. Absolutely dreadfully bad card, but some people love it. I mean, it was 3 free damage there. Ooh, opponent attacks me down as well. 6. Opponent don't care about me. Thankfully, I get to go Luminous Bonds plus Sworn Companions here. I guess I wasn't paying much attention to my life total. I don't care about Creep and Chill, though. Like, that's not a card as far as I'm concerned. It wins you games you're already winning. And having it in your deck means you lose more games that you might not be losing. Dimir Locket. Okay. Opponent has been making their plays very quickly, but they don't have much going on, so... This looks like a slightly better version of the deck that we played against earlier, and they surveilled to the top. Prey Upon's quite nice here. I can go ahead... Actually, that's dumb. We'll go and play Indrik, kill Platecrafter, attack with everything. We'll start gaining some life back here. So, barring some really ridiculous card off the top, we should be in pretty good shape. Like, it would literally take probably a Doom Whisperer or something like that to get my opponent into this game. Granted, I'm not putting a huge clock on them, but they're empty-handed. I guess they can draw with Locket at some point. I've got a lot of pressure and a Prey Upon. Ugh, and they're dealing 2 to themselves. Yup. 4, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, I guess we just Flourish and kill them next turn. Mold of 5 kind of sucks. Opponent counting up damage. They're going to have to add 10 to that on our turn with Flourish. Ooh, kill my Hawk. So 4, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, it's still 18 damage here. Let's just go and wrap it up before my opponent can draw into something else. Alright, so Deadweight's not really a consideration for Crushing Canopy here. Dimir Locket, also not really something I want to bring that in against. But they do have... whatchamacallits. I like the... the Vigor Spore Worm. I don't like the Sworn Companions as much. They have a Dowser of Light, at least, which is a card that can be problematic for me. The Peacemakers I'm also feeling I probably shouldn't have in this matchup. Maybe I just want, like, Samala Woodshaper over a Peacemaker. Crazy as that sounds. I love me a Peacemaker, but they've already shown us, like, Dimir Informant and Dowser of Lights. The Dimir decks tend to have a lot of creatures that can just straight up block it. I'm not about gaining my opponent 4 life. It's possible if I see some flyers, I'll actually even bring out the other Peacemaker for, like, Hitchclaw Recluse or a 4/4. Well, I'm glad it clicked Mulligan for me. Spider. I think I go down to 6 here, or 5. Alright, this is a little bit better, but... Spider! Do I want to draw that? I just want to draw lands. Nah. Stupid Spider. I wonder... if I switch this out for another card, will that card always be in my opening hand? Can I break the game right now? Can I break Arena? Wow, we have a lot of our expensive cards in our hand here. I wonder if I'm supposed to trade here. I don't think so. I need to draw like Generous Strays into lands. Another Thoughtbound Phantasm. Oh, right. It's when it becomes tapped, not when it becomes untapped. All right, well, we're definitely not doing that then. All right, I mean, that's a pretty easy decision here. I will take the trade if they want to. And then just play another Scout. Maybe I shouldn't trade off creatures since I have Siege Worm. Yeah, actually, maybe I shouldn't be even offering that trade. Haven't seen a green card yet, though. Maybe something like a Indrik or quite a few cards you would splash green for. Vraska comes to mind. No box. In fact, let's see the Vraska right now. Nothing. So can't have a Devious cover up. Small Wood Shaper looking a little awkward here. I think I just attack with one of these. I might have a Whisper Agent. Don't have high hopes for this game unless I rattle off a bunch of lands. Oh, they do have a Whisper Agent. Also, I don't feel like I can just keep these creatures up forever, so that's a little annoying because they're going to get to attack me for 5 here. And then next turn, I just have to stop attacking and hope that Wood Shaper hits, I don't know, something I can cast. They also kept on top with their Surveil. Okay, Healer's Hawk is a card that exists. I'm going to go and play that and just pass the turn here. See what kind of instant speed nonsense they have. They're 2 Surveils away from just beating me down with a Thought-Bound Phantasm. Looks like maybe another Whisper Agent. Oh, Bounce Spell. Okay, that's not the worst. It does get them closer to this. Bin Deadly Visit. They're looking for their 5th land. Kill my Healer's Hawk. Attack for 5. Unless they can Surveil, they can attack for 10 this turn. Alright, opponent capitalized on us being mana screwed. We capitalized on them being mold down to whatever they mold down to. Go and play the Stray. Wow. Really screwed by the lands this time. All it takes is a Surveil card, and then we're dead. They hit their 5th land. They really wanted it if they binned Deadly Visit. So we can go ahead and concede another Deadly Visit. Alright, the Deadly Visits make me want these big creatures a lot less. In fact, I might even take out the Spider here. The Hatchery Spider. And see if whatever card we replace it with is in our opening hand. That's the goal, right? Wodev Guardian actually looks decent here because of its interaction with basically all of their creatures. Yeah, I don't love Wodev Guardian, but if I can get it out on turn 3, it can block Whisper Agents, and it still blocks whatchamacallit. I think this is fine. Still have a couple top-end creatures, still have the Siege Worm. I think we just got kind of screwed by our mana that game. And we probably would have lost that game anyway because we would have been tapping creatures, playing Siege Worms. They would have deadly visited them. But what can you do? Maybe Langhauser gives us our first loss of the matches. This hand is gross. I'm going to Flower for a land on turn 1 for sure, because I want to be able to cast my spells. I've got a 2-drop, so I'm not going to be able to Flower then. And I think, what do we get? Forest or Plains? Does it matter? I think it matters much. I'm going to get Forest because I'm going to play that next turn. I don't want to give my opponent free information here. If I get a Plains and then I play a Forest, my opponent just knows a card in my hand, whereas if I get the Forest and play Amara, then they don't know anything about my hand. They're, of course, going to have the deadweight, because the opponents always have the deadweight. But if they don't, maybe this gets to do something. Snapping it off. There's like deadweight, always had it. Alright, Stray coming down. Yeah, we're going to play Stray here over Scout. Mana efficiency and blah, blah, blah. Cantrip Cap. Ooh, Conclave Cavalier is a nice draw. Although we do not have the Plains. I guess that was a consideration, but that wouldn't have really affected anything there. I wouldn't have known that I was going to draw more Forests. So unless I draw a white source, untapped Plains, I cannot cast this Cavalier next turn. Hey! Well, I guess if my opponent had the deadweight, I'm allowed to have the Cavalier. They put a island in the graveyard with the Surveil. This card, they need Capture Sphere or an Exile effect to get it off board and have it not turn into 2/2/2s. Not saying it's impossible for them to deal with, but it ought to be pretty good. They could also have Witchcoin Crab, which I would promptly Luminous Bonds. This turn I get to go Scout plus Luminous Bonds. Alright, this looks like Artful Takedown. Are they going to kill the Cavalier? Yeah, they are going to kill the Cavalier. They take no damage this turn. We get to play 2 more creatures out. Yeah, I'm playing into Mephitic Vapors here, which might not be a good idea. I'm definitely not playing around Ritual of Soot. I have no reason to believe my opponent has that until I see it. Dang, look at my opponent's graveyard. All good cards. Yeah, they had the Mephitic Vapors. Jeez, my opponent had the Deadweight for my Amara. They had the Mephitic Vapors for my 2/1/1s. Kind of gross. They do surveil 2 cards to the graveyard, though, and we still have 5 power on board. So this isn't the worst. But, Jesus. Alright, I think I discard Luminous Bonds here. I think the Worm is just relevant. If we draw a land, we can jam it, which isn't amazing, but threats are threats are threats. Alright, let's go ahead and counter up. I guess just put a counter on itself. Get in 1 less damage this turn by doing that, but they're probably going to block with the rat anyway. And then this can attack through the rat without trading it. Okay. That is relevant on this board. That is relevant on this board as well. Yeah, that seems like a bad attack. Awkward. Now we're just at the mercy of the Dowser of Lights now. Thankfully, the opponent's down to 2 cards here. Hopefully they don't have Counterspell for this Worm. Even tempted to maybe play some all Wood Shapers, because the best I get is an attack with kind of a dingy creature. Yeah, but then I get the 6/4 on board. See the Counterspell here. No. We're going to do it on... I have 4 creatures. Going to do it on the Generous Stray. That way, if they want to play a bounce spell or something, then fine by me. So +5/+5 and Vigilance. Oh no, +4. Wood Shaper should be a expensive Generous Stray. Getting the 6/4 on board matters quite a bit. And getting off little creatures like this actually matters too. Oh, we're going to see a spell? Okay. So Surveil to the graveyard, grow this. That is, I mean, exactly the reason I used my Worm's ability on Generous Stray, so that the bounce spell aspect is a little bit worse. But now I think they kind of have to trade here. This is almost a forced trade. Not exactly. They could Surveil at instant speed and then trade Thoughtbound Phantasm, but it doesn't look like they're doing that. Let's go Wood Shaper into Hero's Hawk, and the next turn we're probably just attacking, throwing away creatures. I'm actually going to take this... Well, I can't play that Hawk, right? Because I didn't tap like that. I'm going to play this. I'm going to take the Stray over the other Hawk. Just keep more bodies on board, keep this rolling while I can. Opponent's going to have to start using, like, Deadly Visits on... Oh, no, the Witchcoin Crab. Never mind. Should have taken the Hawk. Alright, let's go Stray. Alright, this thing. Alright, what happens if I attack with everything? They eat 2 creatures and take 2 damage. Oh, wait. Block, block. They take 1, 2, 3, 4. Ugh, that's not good. Alright, well. Opponent definitely has a good deck against ours. Now all they need is a flyer to stop the Hawk, and plenty of turns to do that. Prey Upon. I don't think that actually does anything. Will be good if we draw Rosemane Centaur. For now, we just chip with Hawk. This turn, if I attack with everything, I get in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to do that. Lower the clock by a pretty large margin. Just cut back on the number of turns my opponent can sit here and draw and take one. They're not worried about Hawk. Opponent is thinking. Okay. So if I attack with everything this turn, I get in 3 damage. Oops. I'm just going to ignore whatever that is. This makes the Hawk lethal if they have nothing, and they didn't have anything last turn. I don't really have a reason to believe they have something this turn, and I'm going to keep lands in hand in case they draw, like, Disinformation Campaign. But hopefully the Hawk just gets in there. Opponent flooded super hard. Nice. Whoa, that brings us to the straight 5-0 with the Force Selesnya deck. And it brings us to Bronze Tier 2.5. I guess that'd be 1.5. I don't know. Shaboom! 50 coins and a diagraph ghoul. Let's claim that prize, boys. 2,100 gems. 6 packs. Stuff I don't care about except for the gems. Alright. Can we go look at the deck one more time? No, I guess not. So that's going to go ahead and do it for By Force with Selesnya. And considering that is most people's favorite for worst guild, I would say that went quite well. We kind of had a decent deck, but I also think we didn't play against a lot of really high power level decks, right? We didn't play against Is It a Single Time or Golgari for that matter. We played against a bunch of Selesnya decks that I think were just worse than ours, and then some Dimir decks that stumbled a little bit. So the Healer Hawk got there. We opened Amara, Conclave Cavalier, Rosemane Centaur. We had a game plan, and it worked, and it went straight 5-0, no losses. So pretty happy with that. If I can get that out of Selesnya, I should be able to get that out of some of the other guilds. So stay tuned for By Force. And yeah, remember to like, comment, and subscribe here at Mana Rocks. We have content up basically every Friday with the occasional, Monday or something like that if things get delayed. So like, comment, subscribe. Check out more of By Force as it comes up. Appreciate you all watching here. It's a lot of fun to do these videos, so I hope it's fun to watch. My name's Timothy with Mana Rocks. Thanks for watching. I'll see y'all next time.